Russia's current president and former prime minister is Vladimir Putin. Moreover, he served as president for 2 terms that ended in 2008. Territorial conflicts in Eastern Europe, liberal economic reform, restrictions on political liberties, and a cult of personality centered on Putin's image as an action man have all been features of his tenure in office. Today, we'll look at the top 10 crazy facts about the world's most powerful President Putin. Before we begin, please like and subscribe to our channel. Number 1. Vladimir Putin went to law school. Vladimir Putin was born in the Russian city of Leningrad, which is now known as St. Petersburg, in the year 1952. He and his parents went to the elementary and secondary school in the area, and they shared an apartment with another family while they were there. After receiving his diploma from high school, Vladimir enrolled in the legal program at Leningrad State University to pursue a degree in the field. After completing his law degree, Vladimir made the decision to work in the intelligence field and to serve his country at the same time. Number 2. He was a member of the KGB. After earning his legal degree, Putin accepted a career in administration with the KGB. Under the alias Platov, he attended the KGB's Foreign Intelligence Institute in Moscow. He spent 15 years working for the KGB, traversing all of Russia, before being transferred to Dresden, East Germany in 1985. He advanced through the KGB's ranks until he attained the rank of lieutenant colonel. The Berlin Wall did, however, fall in 1989. Putin departed the KGB 2 years after the Soviet Union fell apart. But Putin's interactions with the KGB were not to end there. In 1998, he was made the leader of the SSB, a new KGB. Number 3. Vladimir Putin began his political career working for his mentor. He briefly held a position at Leningrad State University after his time with the KGB before entering politics. As a result of his sterling performance, he was given the title of deputy mayor by Anatoly Sobchak in 1994. Putin relocated to Moscow and joined the presidential staff once his term as mayor ended. In 1998, he was hired as a deputy head of management. In 1999, he was elevated to prime minister after taking over as head of the Federal Security Service. Boris Yeltsin, who was president at the time, resigned shortly before the year 2000 and named Vladimir Putin as acting leader. The opposition to Yeltsin had been getting ready for an election in June 2000. But because of his departure, the presidential election took conducted earlier in March 2000. Putin received 53% of the vote there and triumphed in the first round. He took office on May 7, 2000. Number 4. He quickly worked his way up the political ladder. By the year 1994, Vladimir had worked his way up to the position of deputy mayor under Anatoly Sobchak. When Sobchak's term as mayor came to an end, Vladimir moved his family to Moscow and accepted a position on the presidential staff there. In 1998, Vladimir Putin was given a job as the deputy head of management, and then in 1999, he was promoted to the position of head of the Federal Security Service. In 1999, he was also given the position of prime minister. Boris Yeltsin, who was serving as the country's president at the time, tendered his resignation before the end of 1999 and designated Vladimir as the country's acting president. Since then, Vladimir has served as the country's president continuously. Number 5. Vladimir Putin has consistently held a seat of power. Vladimir Putin ascended to the presidency and has remained in that position ever since. He was chosen as the official president a few months after taking office as the acting president in 1999. He was then re-elected in 2004 for a second term, but due to constitutional restrictions, he was not able to run for a third term. Vladimir retained his position of authority by appointing Dmitry Medvedev, one of his students, as prime minister before designating himself once more. Vladimir was re-elected president in 2012 when Medvedev's tenure ended and has held the position ever since. Number 6. He offered help to the U.S. after the 9/11 terrorist attacks. During the time that he has served as president, Vladimir Putin's feelings toward the United States have oscillated between love and hate. After the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001, Putin made a public commitment to assist the United States. As part of this assistance, Russia allowed the United States to use their airspace and participated alongside the United States in search and rescue operations. However, as soon as the United States made the decision to focus on removing Saddam Hussein from power, Russia, Germany, and France began to reject the concept. Number 7. He owns a palace in a forest. The gigantic residence known as Putin's Palace, which Putin owns in a forest, is a Russian Italianate palace complex on the Black Sea coast in Krasnodar Krai. The complex includes a main residence with a nearly 18,000 square meter floor area, an arboretum, a greenhouse, a helicopter, an ice palace, a chapel and amphitheater, a guest house, a fuel station, an 80-meter bridge, and a special tunnel with a tasting room inside the mountain. There are roughly a dozen guest rooms as well as a swimming pool, spa, saunas, Turkish baths, shops, a warehouse, a reading room, a music club, a hookah bar, a theater, and a movie theater. The size of the main bedroom is 260 square meters. A rough estimate of the construction cost is 100 billion rubles, $1.35 billion. Number 8. Vladimir Putin has a Nobel Peace Prize nomination. One further thing that ties Vladimir Putin and Edward Snowden together is the fact that they were both nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014. Snowden was nominated for his information leak, while Putin was nominated for his diplomatic response to Syria's use of chemical weapons. Both of these responses were in response to Syria's use of chemical weapons. The fact that Vladimir is buddies with Bashar al-Assad, the president of Syria, was probably the single most important reason in Vladimir's success. Vladimir Putin was successful in persuading Bashar al-Assad to give up Syria's weaponry so that Russia could invade the country without violence. Number 9. He is an advocate for animal rights. The compassion and care that Vladimir Putin shows toward animals reveals the sensitive aspect of his personality. He maintains a small pack of dogs at home and is actively involved in the research of a wide variety of animal species, including tigers, polar bears, dolphins, and cranes, among others. In addition to this, he is an advocate for the passage of laws that would improve the way animals are treated. The law on the responsible treatment of animals prohibits the slaughter of strays, prohibits the operation of petting zoos within shopping malls and restaurants, and mandates that domesticated animals receive the necessary medical attention. Number 10. Vladimir Putin's passion for work led to divorce. The success that Vladimir Putin has achieved has not been without a cost, which ultimately resulted in the couple getting divorced in 2013. Since the couple wed in 1983, Vladimir has been married to Lyudmila, and ever since he entered politics, they have been together. Lyudmila only mentioned that the two of them don't see each other very often because Vladimir is so focused on his profession. Vladimir acknowledged that she was correct in her estimation that she had put up with it for approximately 9 years prior to the point that she could take it no more. That's end for today's video. What do you recommend us to make video on? Let us know in the comments below. And make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates.